paper 7 of URANTIA book, Relation of the Eternal Son to the Universe.
We read that.
We read
Yeah,
that, but we're going
let's
to
read
read it again
it
because
again.
we were pretty spent last time when we tried to read it.
All right, so we're going back to the start, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Who is first there? Let's go that way.
Anthony.
Okay. The original Son is ever concerned with the execution of the spiritual aspects of the Father's eternal purpose as it progressively unfolds in the phenomenon of the evolving universes with their manifold groups of living beings.
Mm.
That's a big sentence.
Yeah. Living beings.
We do not fully comprehend this eternal plan, but the Paradise Son undoubtedly does.
Mm.
The Son is like the Father in that he seeks to bestow everything possible of himself upon his coordinate sons and upon their subordinate sons. And the Son shares the Father's self-distributive nature in the unstinted bestowal of himself upon the infinite Spirit, their conjoint executive.
Beautiful. Mm.
As the upholder of spirit realities, the second source and center is the eternal counterpoise of the Isle of Paradise, which so magnificently upholds all things material.
Mm-hmm.
Seconds. Thus is the first source and center forever revealed in the material beauty of the exquisite patterns of the central isle and in the spiritual values of the supernal personality of the eternal Son. Well, that makes me smile. I don't know why.
Yes, that's hey. Next minute, Allison's gonna crack us open.
Yeah.
She's already brewing.
I'll do one more. The eternal Son is the actual upholder of the vast creation of spirit realities and spiritual beings. The spirit world is the habitat. Habitat?
Habit.
Oh, yeah, habit, not habitat. The spirit world is the habit, the personal conduct of the Son, and the impersonal realities of spirit nature are always responsive to the will and purpose of the perfect personality of the absolute.
Might I finish it off?
Okay, yeah, may as well. The Son is not, however, personally responsible for the conduct of all spirit personalities. The will of the personal creature is relatively free and hence determines the actions of such volitional beings. Therefore, the free will spirit world is not always truly representative of the character of the eternal Son. Even as nature on Urantia is not truly revelatory of the perfection and immutability of paradise and deity. But no matter what may characterize the free will action of man or angel, the sun's eternal grasp of the universe gravity control of all spirit realities continues as absolute.
Wow. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind
dear.
of.
Gravity control.
It's interesting how he starts. He even starts with saying, "We are not sure how it all is."
Yeah.
Right? Even this advanced beings have a journey before them that it's unclear yet.
They say that a lot.
Yeah. They
Not
take a certain way and then they have stuff from there, oh, we don't know. We don't know. And yet sometimes they really clearly say, we know what we are speaking about. Yeah.
Well, that sort of goes with a lot hand in hand with the unknown and coming to know.
Yes.
And how we advance, but there's always the unknown.
Always the unknown. I think it's eternally.
Yeah.
Kim, you're next.
Okay.
Oh.
The spirit,
morning, yeah?
the spirit gravity circuit. Everything taught concerning the immanence of God, his omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. How do you say that? Omniscience is equally true of the sun in the spiritual domains.
Wow.
The pure and universal spirit gravity of all creation, this exclusively spiritual circuit, leads directly back to the person of the second source and center on paradise. He presides over the control and operation of that ever-present and unerring spiritual grasp of all true spirit values. Thus does the eternal Son exercise absolute spiritual sovereignty. He literally holds all spirit realities and all spiritualized values, as it were, in the hollow of his hand. The control of universal spiritual gravity is universal spiritual sovereignty. This gravity control of spiritual things operates independently of time and space. Therefore, is spirit energy undiminished in transmission. Spirit gravity never suffers time delays, nor does it undergo space diminution. It does not decrease in accordance with the square of the distance of its transmission. The circuits of pure spirit power are not retarded by the mass of the material creation. And this transcendence of time and space by pure spirit energies is inherent in the absoluteness of the sun. It is not due to the interposition of the anti-gravity forces of the third source and centre.
Mm.
Yes. Spirit realities respond to the drawing power of the centre of spiritual gravity in accordance with their qualitative value, their actual degree of spirit nature. Spirit substance quality is just as responsive to spirit gravity as the organised energy of physical matter, quantity, is responsive to physical gravity. Spiritual values and spirit forces are real. From the viewpoint of personality, spirit is the soul of creation. Matter is the shadowy physical body.
Mm.
Mm. Shall I keep going or? Yeah, okay. The reactions and fluctuations of spirit gravity are ever true to the content of spiritual values, the qualitative spiritual status of an individual or a world. This drawing power is instantly responsive to the inter and intra-spirit values of any universe situation or planetary condition. Every time a spiritual reality actualizes in the universes, this change necessitates the immediate and instantaneous readjustment of spirit gravity. Such a new spirit is actually a part of the second source and centre. And just as certainly as mortal man becomes a spiritized being, he will attain the spiritual sun, the centre and source of spirit gravity.
This is all way beyond my comprehension.
Yes, mine, yeah, absolutely. Mm.
What do they mean by spirit gravity? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I know. Yeah, it's interesting,
Is
isn't
it
it?
like a force that pulls, like gravity on Earth?
Yeah, could be that the thing that densifies, that makes dense. Like Righteous always says it beautifully. It's like we only slow ourselves down until we become physical. But for me, that's the most sensible sentence I've ever read. We slow ourselves down as a higher vibration. We went into density, and somewhere in the density, we locked down and forgot how to return into non-dense state. And here we are, and then we look out and everything looks dense.
Yeah.
But it's not meant to be like this. And when we dance, then we begin to die because we can't retain the high vibe. We can't retain in that slow vibration. We can't retain life. So the body
Well,
cannot regenerate itself after certain
yeah.
time. Same as everything else. Like you can look at trees, right? Like they can live for a long time, but then eventually they fall over, as everything does here. even physical, right? Even inanimate turns into dust.
But I mean, what Jesus was talking about yesterday, and of course, love was all about. We had through the rejection of feeling. That's where disease comes from.
Yeah.
That's where it just rejection of feeling creates heavier matter or creates more density.
Yeah.
And the acceptance of feeling is what allows the natural system to operate
Yes.
properly. So there is an element of that too. I mean, yeah. Sometimes I feel like some of these teachings contradict each other a little bit, but I just have to find my own understanding with it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tricky, isn't it?
Well, this will reveal a lot. And I think that gravity thing is like, I think it will be again and again explained in more detail.
Yeah.
I mean, just
look it up now. Can you look it up now? Like, haven't someone got a dictionary of the URANTIA dictionary? Because it's coming up again.
I'll look it up in the URANTIA dictionary.
Yeah, because it's mentioned a fair bit in the next couple of paragraphs.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, where is it? Just gravity?
Gravity.
Spirit gravity.
Spirit gravity.
Gravity to gravity messengers, gravitation, gravita, gravity.
Yeah, we'll try gravity for a start.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Spirit gravity. Gravity circuit.
Okay, here we go. Physical, mental, and or spiritual force due to gravitation in any of these domains. Oh, geez. There's only 359 times it mentioned in text. Well, I don't know. I could just read the first one. The gravity forces of the gravity center of nether paradise. That is just why the geographic location of his person is eternally fixed in an absolute relation to the force energy center. Yep, that explains it.
Okay.
It's a gravity embrace, which is an interesting thing. Under the effect of gravity. Now I can't get a gravitation, maybe? Natural phenomenon by which physical bodies attract with a force proportional to their mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distances between their centers. Okay.
From my understanding,
it says it does not decrease in accordance with the square of the distance of its transmission.
Anthony,
I don't understand that.
I'm
but my understanding, gravity and mass has got, real mass has got a pull, but spiritual gravity also has a pull. So every thought or every spiritual thought and mind actually gets pulled back to the Paradise Center, to
Mhm.
this
Gotcha.
the second. So,
Ah,
and even between
Nice.
us, there's the of spiritual, like we are gravitated towards each other because of our beliefs and our
Yeah.
spirituality. So, and every
Oh, yeah,
single
that makes
thought good
sense.
is pulled back to God. Like
Mhm.
I remember reading somewhere there's this whole stream of thoughts, beautiful thoughts that just keep streaming back from us to God, or to the second, to the paradise.
Yeah.
That's kind of how and it says here in the next one of the sentences: spirit gravity pull and response thereto operate only
Not
not only onto the universe as a whole, but also between individuals and groups of individuals.
there is your
So
answer.
it's just like that,
Oh, inter and
the kind of,
introverted. Yeah. Drawing power. Okay.
Good.
but
Good.
like thoughts have gravity as well, and
Mm.
beliefs have,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel.
spirituality has a gravity.
thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right.
Top the
Beautiful.
class now.
I
I hate that part of me. I know it all now. Oh my god! So I'm just having a moment of rejection of knowing.
collapse. You're just collapsing. You need to be erect.
Ah,
That's exactly right. He's gone into his. Oh, oh
Attend to
no.
your erection,
Oh.
Anthony.
Yes,
rejection.
exactly. From erection to resurrection.
Well, I guess that's the
Oh
spirit
dear.
gravity, isn't it? Making us erect. The earth gravity pulls us down to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah. Yeah.
collapsing. Oh.
And the gravity is incredible power. I mean, imagine it just pulls a whole ocean to the ground. I mean, like it's incredible.
Mm.
But there is a thing. I go back to the Tai Chi thing of when you're in the correct stance. It's like you can. It's almost like you can
Mhm.
just sit there.
Yeah.
There's no effort controlled. And I remember when I was a kid, and this is a weird thing. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but when I was a kid, I'd lie in bed, and at some point I'd notice that my arm was up in the air. It was just hanging there.
Mm-hmm. Well, it
And
should be
like I I just think
effortlessly.
maybe it was like acting as an aerial or something, but I just noticed that my hand was there. It was really comfortable. Was not
Ah,
making any effort at all to
uh,
hold it up there. It was just there. I
Yeah.
hadn't made
but
any decision to put
perfect
it
Well, so
balance.
there.
it happens in Tai Chi where when you start doing these practices, right? These slow movements, you do come into this effortless state of doing it. Like it's just suddenly
Yeah,
it's just an idea. This is what I'm gonna do, and then it begins to happen. And it is
yeah,
about this stepping back and I step back and let him lead the way. I think if we
yeah,
can fall into that place, like when you just don't know what to do and you go, just give up, and then boom, suddenly something happens.
yeah,
Gone from effort into this natural creation. Creation doesn't require any effort, and I think the whole spiritual madness to achieve something is exactly what stops it.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I step back and let him lead the way. I step back and see what the feeling is rather than me rushing in with an effort to figure out where is this and where is it coming from, and this endless analysis that paralyzes us, make us dense really.
mm.
So if you just give up for a sec. I don't know what
Yeah.
anything is, even that thing, that there's a relief in that. Like who said you need to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like
But this,
Yeah.
somebody just look, you need to know all this. No, you don't. I
I
think that's
haven't
the
had
whole
any,
religion kind of came about. They just give you these ideas that you must do something. And more you do, more you will get later, which is exactly the opposite. You could already have everything. You are the accomplished. Now, where is that part of you? It's in a complete effortlessness. It's almost like this, I need do nothing.
But without, yeah, but I think without that spirit gravity, we wouldn't even be able to move our bodies at all. Like they'd just be like lying there like the lumps of earth. I haven't had the
Yeah.
experience you're saying, Alison, but I remember once I woke up in the morning and I must have been in that hypnagogic state because I suddenly felt, I felt the weight of my body. Like it was so heavy. I was completely shocked at how heavy my body was. Like I must have just come back into it or something. And it was just the heaviest thing imaginable. And like just to move that around, it must take such extreme
effort.
like it must be that spirit gravity because otherwise it's just so heavy. Look, we can't. It's be impossible to move
Like
it.
a dead body is so heavy, but we are
Yes,
so light. We're
because the
filled with
spirit's not in it, is
spirit.
it? So it's just this heavy lump. Oh, that's what I felt, but I was just so shocked at how heavy it felt.
But that's what the grievances do, you know. Every grievance basically locks into something. You know, like I told you before, like in Slovakian, grievance actually translates as making yourself heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's
When you look at
right.
the whole story of Peter Pan, you know, like when you forgive, you begin to fly again because you actually let go of this dense judgmental thing that makes everything solid. Aha, this is this. And now your whole willpower goes, that's what that is. And it locks it into this unmovable state. Like, you know, like, oh my God, I can't forgive. No, you can't because it's just too dense. And
Yes.
of course, the miracles is beautiful in that it does it dislodges these heavy structures. You know, like
Yeah,
every time I read it, it just makes me go like, oh God, I remember lightness. I remember this lightness of being, which
because
we
we
all
think the
do.
life is in the body, don't we? It's
Yeah.
hard to let go of that idea that the body's just
Yes.
lifeless
Yeah.
because it's
And when you
yeah.
spirited, you become heavy. But when you eat spirit, you become light. You fly. Everything's just happening for you. You know those states when you go into flow, and everything just flows. You're like, oh my God, this is here, this is there. Like everything is as meant to be.
Or like when you're dreaming that you're just flying over the landscape, like
You just have to,
ah,
yeah, you just have to think it and you're there. Yeah.
If I ever have dreams, those are always the ones I'm flying. I'm always flying.
Dreams.
I'm just always so bloody busy. I
Mhm.
wake up tired because it's like I don't know what's going on. There's all these people everywhere. It just seems busy, 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 busy.
All right, guys,
Ah,
can we come back to the
gravity.
gravity?
So would someone else like to read now? Or
Alison's just disappeared. She was next. Call, you're next then.
So where are we? 715?
I don't
6.
know. The
Yeah,
sun's spiritual drawing power.
yeah,
That one.
All
yeah.
right. The sun's spiritual drawing power is inherent to a lesser degree in many paradise orders of sonship. For there do exist within the absolute spirit gravity circle those local systems of spiritual attraction that function in the lesser unit of creation. Such subabsolute focalizations of spirit gravity are part of the divinity of the center of the creative personalities of time and space and are corrected with,
Correlated.
as a correlated with the emerging experiential over control of the supreme being. Poor.
Oh dear.
Well,
Oh, that word supreme being does to me what Allison usually has.
What's that?
When I say supreme being, my body just goes, oh. I go into some of like some kind of awe.
Right.
Mm. Wow. Supreme being. Spirit gravity pull and response thereto operate only on the universe,
Not only.
fun.
not only on the universe as a whole, but also even between individuals and groups of individuals. There is a spirit cohesiveness among the spiritual and spiritized personalities of any world, race, nation, or believing group of individuals. There is a direct attractiveness of a spirit nature between spiritually minded persons of like tastes and longings. That the term kindred spirit is not wholly a figure of speech.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like the beings that meet you in that deep spiritual realm when you drop in and you go like, oh God, I can feel they're there too.
And then there's the opposite where you're
Yes.
repelled. So
Yes,
Yeah.
totally repelled. It's kind of like when you hear the spiritual mental diarrhea. Like the material gravity of paradise, the spiritual gravity of the eternal sun is absolute. Sin and rebellion may interfere with the operation of local universe circuits, but nothing can suspend the spirit gravity of the eternal sun.
mm.
Mm.
Beautiful, huh? The Lucifer rebellion produced many changes in your system of inhabited worlds and on Urantia, but we do not observe that the res
Resultant.
thank you spiritual guarantee of your planet
Quarantine.
quarantine of your planet. Wow, resultant spiritual quarantine of your planet in the least affected the presence and function or either of omnipresent spirit of the eternal sun or the associated spirit gravity circuit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. I gather there's papers on the Lucifer rebellion somewhere. Is there?
Yes,
Yep.
there's like three of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I'm really interested in that one
Yes,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah,
seems
me
to be
too.
such a major deal, doesn't it?
it is.
Yeah.
In the Jesus part, it talks about Lucifer and Satan, just mentions them, like, and someone else,
Yeah.
some other name,
Yeah.
starting with G, seems to be one that I've never heard before.
Yeah. Well, also we are living in a part of the universe that's called Satania. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Good start, yeah.
good
Are,
start.
are we still?
I'm not surprised we are slightly deranged.
Yeah. Are we still in quarantine? This part of the universe? Can't remember. I'm coming out of quarantine or something. We've been in quarantine for 300,000 years.
It's a long time in the
300,000 years.
isn't it?
3,000. That's
Well, like Righteous Soul will say in the next few pages when as we're reading the fallen angels, it says, "You are Luciferian to the most minute detail."
What?
Jesus.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah.
Go take a running jump.
Yet, when you find this part of yourself, like in Righteous Soul, it's explained slightly differently. It says, every time you don't feel, you're not connected to feeling, you tend to go more towards the Luciferian rebellion.
Right. So that
Disuniting.
we've been taught a different way to think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You've been worshiping the thought and
Yeah.
and denying this magnetic force that the feeling is.
Mhm.
See, every time you're separated from your feeling, your mind's Luciferian, and you don't even know you attack sometime. But it's
Mm.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
subtle cut, subtle something. That's always because you're disconnected from feeling, and feeling cannot guide you lovingly. Like you can't be, your heart is basically not present if you are pushing a feeling away, even the most subtle way. You have a slight discomfort and you go like, gosh, I don't want to feel like this. There's you
Mm.
disuniting, and you no longer have a full guidance with you.
It's amazing when it just mentioned the Lucifer energies. I had a twinge of anger in my tummy, like a little tiny little twinge.
Beautiful.
But I'm actually really angry at it all.
Well, in the last, was it yesterday's reading, he was talking about how we reached a point where, so learning worked to a certain point, but then it got to a point where it became more and more about learning what other people had learned by rote instead of coming to know
Mm-hmm.
the unknown. And so it stopped working. That's when it was suggested that we stop learning in that way. I don't know. It makes me angry.
Beautiful.
Oh, how we've been taught to think.
Yeah.
I just feel so confined by it, at times. Like my mind's so chaotic, but it's all kind of tied up with that.
And also this idea that we shouldn't be angry.
Yeah. I was never allowed to be
Oh,
angry when I was a kid.
yeah, that's so strong. And
Yeah.
like anger is beautiful when it's not used to manipulate.
Yeah. I mean, we've not really been taught or shown that anger anger can be expressed without hurting anyone.
Absolutely. Even just
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
it and letting it flow within yourself, like, oh, like this.
Mm.
It's delicious because something's moving in you, and that movement is what life is. And I think anger is like somewhere we got stuck into no movement, and something wants to move, something wants to explode in us. And then we call it anger. So we're like, don't you explode on me. And yet that explosion is in some way. I mean, funny enough, all of my moments of clarity came from being somewhere pissed off.
Mm.
Mm.
Like pissed off beyond control. It's just like a fury comes over. But
Anger's
eventually I realized it was all good. You were saying, Kevin?
anger's really good, like for focusing. It's like a laser.
Yeah,
You get angry, sort of like it's very
yeah,
clear, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm feeling like I'm pissed off at schools. They're very Luciferian, and society is very Luciferian. It's very controlling, and spirituality is fucking Luciferian too. It's like I just
Mm.
like I'm going, "Ugh." Just
Yes.
Nice.
it's all
I am looking forward to reading about it, or because like I keep hearing about this Luciferian rebellion. I would like to hear more about it. I mean, is it partly about being told what to think and what to think? Is that part of what
no, it's
was
more about what happened 300,000 years ago if Lucifer came down on Earth.
Mm.
It's about that. He was an angel or a very high being, but
He wanted to be God, didn't he? Or
yeah, he wanted
something.
God. He wanted to
Come on
over,
Earth. I don't remember that part.
override God's. He taught humans to think for themselves a bit, and
Mm.
I need to read it again. I've got a
Yeah.
list.
I don't
But
remember saying,
if he was sent here and we're here, then we must be like him because we're here. Yeah. Like
sounds like he had a tiny mad idea.
Yeah,
like that gravitational force must have brought all like
Who
yeah.
knows? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about it.
let's find
I
out.
think I'm quite
Otherwise, we're just
interested.
guessing. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a revelation, it will be revealed. I don't
yeah.
remember the part though that he came on Earth. I think the Earth got influenced by this uh, a rebellion, but I don't remember him personally actually coming here.
Maybe he
Mm.
wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to listen to it again.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah,
Got
it
a
might
hold
be
of.
just in the spiritual realm, mightn't it? Yeah. 'Cause-
I like the Luciferian, the way Luciferian is explaining, right? You so well in these books. I find it. I tune out for some reason. I find it a bit,
oh.
yeah. So I can't tell you much about it.
There's a paper on it, is there
It's like three
on the
papers on it, or even more.
do you know which ones they are?
No, but it'll be
Just
easy
look
to
at the paper of contents, and you'll just see it. It'll come out.
Yeah.
Face. It will go. Oh, there it is.
find.
Yes. Because if we don't recognize how that operates in us, well,
53, 54, 53 is the Luciferian rebellion, and then 54 is problems of the Luciferian rebellion.
Okay. Cool.
But I think it's somewhere else also.
Right. I may have a look at it.
Remember it going on and on and on. It's like, spare me.
Mm,
Now it's only two papers. For some reason, I thought that was. I think it's like it's two papers, but then it goes on being mentioned.
oh, I've just opened it. It says number 8, the
Oh,
son of
that'll be
man
interesting. It's
on
18
URANTIA.
pages.
Yeah.
yeah.
Lucifer and Satan freely roamed the Satania system until the completion of the bestowal mission of Michael on Urantia. Okay. Which is obviously why he came here then.
Okay.
Okay, let's come back to the where we
Like,
at. So is it all reaction of the spirit gravity? Is that where we are?
Yep.
All reaction of the spirit gravity circuit on the ground universe are predictable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We recognize all actions and reactions of the omnipresent Spirit of the Eternal Son and find them to be dependable. In accordance with well-known laws, we can and do measure spiritual gravity, just as man attempts to compute the workings of finite physical gravity. There is an unvarying response to the Son's Spirit to all spirit things, beings, and persons, and this response is always in accordance with the degree of actuality, the qualitative degree of reality of all such spiritual values. Okay, that's about as much as I can read. Kevin, I think it's your turn. Or Alison.
Alison, yeah.
Kevin's like,
okay. But alongside this very dependable and predictable function of the oh dear, of the spiritual presence of the eternal Son. I don't know what it is about reading these words out loud.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I just have to be happy that I'm reading.
We are so happy, darling.
Okay. But alongside this very dependable and predictable function of the spiritual presence of it's every time I read about the eternal Son.
Right. Makes you indescribably happy.
Yeah. There are encountered phenomena which are not so predictable in their reactions. Such phenomena probably indicate the coordinate action of the deity absolute in the realms of emerging spiritual potentials. We know that the spirit presence of the eternal Son we know that the spirit presence of the eternal Son is the influence of a majestic and infinite personality. But we hardly regard the reactions associated with the conjectured performances of the deity absolute as personal. Viewed from the personality standpoint and by persons, the eternal Son and the deity absolute appear to be related in the following way. The eternal Son dominates the realm of actual spiritual values, whereas the deity absolute seems to pervade the vast domain of potential spirit values. All actual value of spirit nature finds lodgment in the gravity grasp of the eternal Son. But if potential, then apparently in the presence of the deity absolute. Spirit seems to emerge from the potentials of the deity absolute. Evolving spirit finds correlation in the experiential and incomplete grasps of the supreme and the ultimate. Spirit eventually finds final destiny in the absolute grasp of the spiritual gravity of the eternal Son.
Mm.
Oh, this appears to be the cycle of experiential spirit,
Mm.
but existential spirit is inherent in the infinity of the second source and center. Mm. There's just another short section. Do you want to read, Kevin? Does anyone want to go on a bit?
No, I don't really feel up to reading today. Anthony, back to you. Do you want to read?
Okay. Do you want one more? Yep.
Mm.
It's just a little
The-
section. It's 3 paragraphs. 4.
all right. I'll read it. The administration of the eternal Son. On Paradise, the presence and personal activity of the original Son is profound, absolute in the spiritual sense. As we pass outward from Paradise through Havona and into the realms of the 7 super-universes, we detect less and less of the personal activity of the eternal Son. In the post-Havona universes, the presence of the eternal Son is personalized in the Paradise, conditioned by the experiential realities of the supreme and the ultimate, and coordinated with the unlimited spirit potential of deity absolute. In the central universe of personal activity on the of the original Son is discernible in the exquisite spiritual harmony of the eternal creation.
Mm-hmm.
Havona is so marvelous, my words, marvelous. Can you say that?
Marvelously.
Marvelously. Havona is so marvelously perfect that the spiritual status of the energy states of the pattern universe are in perfect and perpetual balance.
Mm.
In the super universes, the Son is not personally present or resident. In these creations, he maintains only a superpersonal representation. These spirit manifestations of the Son are not personal. They are not in the personality circuit of the Universal Father. We know of no better term to use than to designate them as superpersonalities. And they are finite beings. They are neither absonite or absolute, nor absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the administration of the eternal Son in the super universes, being exclusively spiritual and superpersonal, is not discernible by creature personalities. Nonetheless, they are all-pervading spiritual. Nonetheless, the all-pervading spiritual urge of the Son's personal influence is encountered in every phase of the activities of all sectors of the domains of the ancients of days. In the local universes, however, we observe the eternal Son personally present in the persons of the paradise sons. Here, the infinite Son spiritually and creatively functions in the persons of the majestic core of the coordinate creator sons.
Well done.
Blah, 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 blah.
I have no idea.
No.
So are we just creature personalities? What are we actually in all this?
Guess we are. I don't know.
We're
We're not God, that's for sure.
yeah,
No.
like very far, far from anywhere there.
Oh,
So what was Jesus? Was he a paradise son?
I think so, yeah.
mm.
I think there's paradise sons all across the super universe, isn't there? They're called Michaels, and they go and
Yeah.
The eternal,
they kind
the
of look like
eternal son is personally present
Are
in
they like the
persons of the
universe
paradise.
creators? The Michaels, the universe creators?
I thought they just looked after certain sections and like a thousand planets each or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sort of in charge of the
yeah.
certain sections, yeah.
They're like department heads.
Yeah.
Amazing.
With a difference.
Right. So ours was Jesus and others might be called something else.
They're all
Yeah.
called Jesus. Wow.
Are they? Oh, are they? Oh,
No,
right.
no, they're all Michaels. Sorry, Michaels.
They're all
Yeah,
Michaels. Yeah.
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 He
Yes.
only incarnated here. It was his bestowal
Mm.
on earth. But now he's back into the Michael, being Michael again. Or he was always a Michael and always will be. But on earth, yeah, he was called Jesus.
Mm.
Well, it had to be called something that people could relate to.
Yeah.
Oh. My brain, the type of brain I am, I just want to figure it out to know. And with this, I don't know if I know or not. I have an
No.
idea and I go, is that right? Or that could be completely wrong. And it,
Mm,
because I was feeling really angry about it. I just thought, and I'm thinking, I just want to throw it all away and go, I don't even need to know. Why do I need
mm.
just like,
Lucifer needs to know, I think, doesn't he? And understand everything, every possible
more
thing.
heads on head?
I think Lucifer does anything for you not to know, but it will teach you things that you don't need.
Mm.
Keep
Oh,
you
Yeah.
occupied. You don't have the time to or the energy to look at what's important.
Because to know something, you have to feel it.
yeah, that's a real knowing, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
but just the head knowing, like the
Yeah.
Knowing comes from feeling it.
is
And
different.
Luciferian thing is anything to do with feeling. Like nothing to do with feeling. That's it.
Yes.
They will give you these bright ideas, really bright. Like it's a very bright light. And people get fooled by light, just like a moth, Gravitate to light. The brighter, the better.
And I think I'm really attracted to that. I
Yeah.
can feel the bright ideas. I love the bright ideas and that's it. I know. I could feel it.
Yes.
Oh, way. So
Yeah.
So
oh,
if you look at the Righteous of All, there's a beautiful section there called Appearance of Universe. It doesn't say create. It didn't say emergence of universe of Lucifer. It says appearance of Lucifer.
yeah.
And it sort of like the father went like, oh my God, look at that light. It's brighter than me. So you go into your self-doubt in there somewhere. And it says things and you go like, wow, that's really switched on what it says. But the mother goes like, oh, I don't feel good with this. He goes, yeah, but listen to him. So we get
Right.
fooled by this listening to the offerings.
Yeah.
Feeling sense will tell you, hey, it's missing foundation, it's missing something, it's not
Mm.
fully connected, it's in rebellion to wholeness. Yeah. So there.
So is that in section 4 of the right use of will?
No, it's right at the beginning in book 2, in after first, second, third, and fourth creation comes a father of manifestation, a third, father of manifestation, and very soon after comes the appearance of Lucifer. It's worthwhile looking at because it's that
Right.
moment of like, wow, that is so bright.
I remember it slightly.
Mm.
It's a funny thing how people are attracted to sparkly
Yeah,
objects, just things that shine.
yeah,
It's a selling point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give something a bit of bling and people are attracted to it. A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm really that person. I think it's good to know that I'm that person because I didn't really think I was that person, but I am.
Yeah.
I love the.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see, with my mum, she was highly intelligent and she got so caught in her intellect. She had an aspect of spirituality about her, but she got so caught in her intellect, she was lost in it. She
Mm,
she just got lost in it.
Yeah.
And I do sort of feel like it was her downfall, really. Anyway.
Mhm.
But I found yesterday's reading very interesting, having reread it this morning,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Course of love.
about the whole thing of like, we're always coming back to feeling, but the difference between ejected and rejected feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just really getting a handle on how what I see around me is created, how my body experience is made through my rejection, through my not allowing. It all ties in. It all just ties in so much
Mm.
Yeah, it was a
with
really
this
good
stuff.
read, wasn't it?
Just feels like it goes hand in hand. It's always real. It seems to be relevant to what we're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Really brought home the whole feeling thing yesterday, big time. That was just all about feeling, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah,
All
mm,
yeah, it was. It was about our feelings and what we do with them.
mm-hmm.
And it kind of explained the big mess the world is in at the moment.
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
all mental.
Yeah.
Rejection of how we really feel about things.
And the division that's happening is a massive division, like polarization.
I think, mm,
Yeah. Hmm.
the appearance of Lucifer. Is that the? I've got it.
Yeah. It's short. It's not very long, but it's very. Just notice mother's reaction when you read
Oh,
What?
where's that?
Us and right use of will.
Oh,
Oh, right.
the book too. Yeah. Which is right. So it's clearly a school of feeling, right?
Yeah.
Course of love is more a school of heart.
I need to go to the school of breakfast now.
Yes.
And in the school of toilet.
School of release.
Full release.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Beautiful, guys.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
I'll
everyone.
be reading the Lucifer Rebellion, I think. I just have too many questions. So.
all right. So when do we get to past all these explanations? Oh, it goes on for a while,
There's a
doesn't it?
lot of explanations, aren't there,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
about
yes.
It's
the
not
way the
necessarily
universe is.
it not necessarily gives you a clear answer.
Mm.
Mm. You can listen to it on the audio, which is on the right, Urantia feed.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't,
I think you sent us a link, didn't you, Cole, a
Yeah.
couple of weeks back?
Yeah.
yeah.
Someone write there are a few versions on YouTube, and there are. I think you would get, unless you subscribe, you get commercials. So I think you're better off going into that audio. Do you have that handy somewhere? Actually, I have it somewhere.
It's on the Urantia feed. You got to go back, flick back a while, like a few months.
Mm.
It's not.
I have it somewhere like marked. I can drop it into our messenger group.
Oh, yeah, good.
Mm.
All the audios. Did I have it saved?
All right.
All right, darlings.
If at any point there is a spare time during the week for more reading of the Urantia book, I'd be into it. Well, depending on when, but you know.
Well, ask Kevin. Kevin's the
The
boss.
only day that's free, I think, is different. Oh, there's plenty of times during the day, but the only morning one is Thursday morning at the moment.
Do you have things on Monday?
Oh, I've got things on Monday, not in the
Oh,
not
I,
in my room. No, not in my room.
So that would be what at 8:30.
Yeah, if you wanted to, or if it could be earlier. Like finish the lesson at 7:25, so 7:30 is fine, or any any time. But I think Cole's working now, something, aren't you, Cole?
I don't work on Thursdays now.
Mm.
Oh,
Changed to Wednesday and Friday.
oh, well, so I mean, you know,
I've been to it too.
it's nice. It's nice that the people who come can come, and I wouldn't want to set up a time where people couldn't manage it.
Yeah,
But I would like it. You know, I would like another time if there is one that everyone can come to.
yeah, because it's a big book.
Yeah, it is. And
I could do, I could do Thursday mornings, but not really any other morning. Yeah.
oh, are you still there, Anthony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could maybe do it. I'm just getting ready for work at that time, but often I'm driving, so I can just listen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about 7:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
7:30. My only problem with that is that I have my son every second week. Hang on, let me just turn off the recording.